What's up, guys? It's Sad Zilla with another episode of Zilla Mode. We are now in the first week of month 2 of the 365-day project, and I wanted to mix it up a little bit and bring on my good friend Ian Icy, also known as
Hey,
Renslayer. You guys can check out his music. He has 2 different music projects. He also kind of helps me manage my mind and my stuff all the stuff that I have going on all the
there's a lot.
time. Yeah, and I wouldn't say he's like a personal assistant. I wouldn't say he's a manager. I don't know who he is really. Honestly, he's a stranger to me at this point. But he helps me. He's like the devil and the angel on my shoulder. Most times, kind of giving me some advice on, looking at like some of the things that I see. Maybe he brings a different perspective and everything. He's been there since been with me for a while now since
Yeah.
I started Sadzilla, and so he's seen the ups, he's seen the downs, and he also has his own ups and downs that I help him through as well. So it's just a way that we can kind of like help each other, and this is one of those cases where I was like, hey, let's do like almost like make it like a podcast episode where we can go over the stats for this week and go over like what happened from the first month and like what that stuff looks like today, and just analyze it a little bit and see like what's going on and how to move forward and all that kind of stuff, and give you guys some information on what's going on, and some insight into, is this even, what is even going on with this project? Is it even, logical? Does this make sense? That's the whole purpose of this. Ian, tell them a little bit of what you thought when I told you about this project in the first place, because all people all know on Zilla Mode is my perspective of like how I was going into this project and starting it and everything, and my own opinions. But what was your opinion when you first went into it?
So I think it was at a funny period of time for me where I was personally stopping weekly releases. I was slowing things down and just kind of taking it as I felt like it with my music. And then all of a sudden you tell me, hey, instead of just not releasing weekly, I'm going to release every single day. And I think my initial reaction was something like, no,
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. Or don't try to do that because I just was like, oh, that's going to be exhausting. And then, like, as you kept on wanting to do it and stuff, I made sure to tell you that I supported your decision and, that I
Like
would
a
try
good
to help it
girlfriend
out
would.
as best as I possibly can. Uh, but yeah, I definitely I think I looked at it as a big point of stress. And since you already had a couple of other music projects, I was just like, "Oh God, why more on top of that?" But I never once, I don't think, doubted your ability to do it. That was the one thing that I think you took away immediately from when I had my protest, is like you were like, so you don't think that I can't do it though? Like, no, I know that you can do it. I know that you can achieve this.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know that you should put it onto yourself. And
Right.
since then, it's been a decent enough journey for you, I think, mentally and stuff. I don't think it's been like as horribly stressful as I thought it might be. Um,
Yeah,
you
we'll
know,
get into the mindset stuff too in a little bit, but like, yeah, no, it was kind of a shocking thing for sure. When like, I remember bringing it up to you guys, and we were talking about it, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, like you could, but like, why would you? Like,
that
what?
was that was a big thing is I didn't see the purpose in it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really see why you would do it other than saying, hey, I did it,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
which that in itself is a feat and something that you can, always put down on like your bio and shit.
True.
I
Yeah, I didn't
released
think
a
about
new
that.
song for 365 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That's always going to be something that you can claim, but I didn't see much use past that.
Right.
Um, of course, now I think that things are starting to be interesting, and of course, it's just kind of an interesting and weird experiment into
Yeah.
Spotify.
I think that's kind of that's the biggest point of like the whole deal is that, and what makes it fun for me and interesting is just because it's just like it's unknown territory. It's like we've done so many things now, like even together, like as artists, collaborating and all this other stuff, and we've analyzed Spotify up and down, we've analyzed YouTube up and down, and all these different platforms, and we kind of understand how the algorithms work. We kind of understand like what we need to do in order to get people
We
to listen
thought we
to our
did.
music. Yeah, sure. I mean, it changes, right? But
Hmm.
you know, we're so locked in, and like we get to the point like where like everybody's kind of like tried everything and done everything, but like this project, what makes it fun is that nobody else is going to probably do this or attempt to do this. So this is like unique
Yeah,
experience to where we can be like, okay, let's try it and then just see what happens. Because I mean, it's just gonna be curious to see what everything looks like at the end of the year. Because I mean, who knows what might happen? I mean, I could literally come out of this like with no change in the amount of monthly listeners that I have, and I
yeah.
released
It's
365 songs. And that, hey, guess what? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't look at that as like uh, a negative. I mean, like there is obviously it is a negative, right? But because of all the work that I put in and like I didn't get too much out of it. But the fact that like I did it and then like I learned something, and we all learned something from it. So, but yeah. Anyway,
now that you say this though, I am remembering a long time ago we had a conversation. Well, I think you more had the conversation. I don't think I was involved in a phone call or anything, but it was with a friend of ours, Lil Too Sad,
uh
and
huh.
he was talking about releasing a new song every day,
Oh, I don't
and
remember
you
this.
talked him out of it.
Mm, did I?
He told him not to.
I don't
Yeah.
remember this.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, he was
interesting.
talking about doing it at one point, and I can't remember what your reasoning was at the time, but you were just like, "Oh, yeah, I don't think that you should do that." And to be honest, he definitely shouldn't have.
No, he's
I
I
still
I think yeah,
don't
to
think
this
so.
day, right? Like I don't think it like this is the thing though. And this is what, like I even had like another artist recently say like, "Hey, I'm going to try and do a song every single day." And the thing is, and I encourage it, go for it. But like if you have like no audience at all or you have a very small audience, I feel like this is very like you're handicapping yourself definitely with something like
Hmm.
this. I know I'm not I mean, I would love to try it honestly,
Yeah,
if I had a new account and then just like try to do it and see what happens. Um,
yeah.
but
Maybe
I
with
would
like
be
a
the only
lo-fi beat type of account or something.
yeah. And when
You could
the
do
artist
that.
that told me this, um, their name is I'm Chris Craig. They're another nerdcore artist or whatever, really cool artist and everything. Known them for quite a while now, even before I started joining up in nerdcore. And he doesn't have like a huge audience, but it'll be interesting to see like what happens, right? I would love, I like,
Yeah.
I want him to like keep me updated on it and everything. But
Yeah, it's a fascinating thing to look at, but like, yeah, with a smaller audience, you're really risking a lot more. With you, there's not too much of a risk. You can see here your smallest songs from month one still
yeah,
got over 600 streams.
yeah. Let's go ahead
Now,
and get into this. Yeah, let's go ahead and
if
get
you
into
have
this.
1,000 monthly listeners,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna reach that with your
Right.
smallest songs. Your smallest songs are gonna get zero streams,
Mm-hmm. That's
and that's
true.
going to
That's true.
happen just tons of times over the month. You're potentially maybe going to reach some sort of algorithmic push maybe in the future at some
Mm-hmm.
point, especially if you can market it on TikTok or something. That could definitely be something. Uh, but like, yeah, you have to. There's a lot more that has to go into it as a smaller artist. Whereas I feel like you can just do this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I can afford to throw some songs out there and then them not catch on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a lot less of a loss for me. So let's talk about level one. Let's talk about the first month. Let's see what happened in the first month. What the last time when we talked, I had just released level one, the album. that had all the songs from the first month on there, and it had dropped with 100,000 streams. Right now, currently, it's at 140,000, almost about to be hitting 141,000 in a week. In the first week, that is where we're at. Is a 40 over 40,000 streams in the first week. Now, it is 31 tracks. Okay, we got
It
to keep
is
this in mind.
31 tracks,
31 tracks.
but that averages over 1,000 streams per track in
Right.
the last week,
Yeah.
which is still impressive considering there's 31 fucking tracks.
Right. Right. And I mean, like, and this is a thing, like, we also have to keep in mind that, a few of these had release radars, right?
Hmm.
Not all of them had release radars, and we'll get into it,
Now,
but
He
mhm.
Who Must Not Be Killed, didn't you release that on a Friday?
Yes, but we didn't have release radar on it.
But it got release radar eventually because it has 20,000 streams.
It has 20,000 streams. It did not get release radar. It got TikTok. Remember?
The
This is the
hell?
song.
Oh,
This is a song that
yeah.
that
Yeah,
really
it
got
did
a
do
lot of
well.
attention on TikTok. Right now, it's
That's
sitting on
crazy.
413 playlists. Currently, this song
Jeez.
is getting around 600 to 500 to 600 streams every single day. Um, and I'm happy with this song. I mean,
That's
even
why you use social media right there.
right there. I mean, and this was like, I didn't. I mean, like, I knew that like it would get some kind of attention, because
Yeah.
of like
Full
the kind
song.
of like the cover part of it, and like how it was kind of laid out. Like when I was coming up with these first songs, it was one of the ones that stood out that I was like, oh, this is a good one.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it actually found an audience and everything, and it's doing really well for itself. These other songs, let's go ahead and get into these other songs. So 365 was the first one that it came out. I talked to this one ad nauseum. At this point, this one did not get a release radar. This is the one that we wanted to get a release radar, but we didn't have that figured out. We didn't know what
Oh
was
man.
going on with it. And but it did get an editorial. The song did get an editorial. So
Yeah.
um, it still to this day, yesterday got 370 streams. That was actually, I checked it, and it was mainly from radio. So it's
Okay.
getting good radio play. Even before the radio, it's getting like 230 streams, something like that. So I mean, I'm good with this song. After a little bit of editorial placement and some radio, it's got some life. Uchiha Scene Massacre, which was the last one, that the last single that it came out with the album. So this one came out with the actual album. Already has 1,300 streams in the first week. This did not have any release radar. It's
Nope.
230 streams down to about 200 streams. So I mean, like, doing good. But
What
those, what's up?
what got release radar within the last week, by the way?
So what
'Cause
it got
we didn't pitch anything.
right, right. But see, NPC was released on that Thursday, and it got
Hmm.
released radar. 4,000 streams on the first day. So far, it has about 13,000 streams. Fell off of release radar. Oh wait, hold up,
But what
hold up.
about
What?
the
Wait,
31st?
no. Sorry. Okay, scratch that. It was the Sky. It was the Sky that did it.
Oh, okay.
So the Sky was the one that got the release radar. And if you see right here, not as much release radar.
Hmm.
So maybe that's because we didn't
Yeah.
pitch it. Because we didn't
It
pitch
could be
it.
that. It could
We didn't pitch it
be
all that
maybe
week.
that it came out with the album and
Yeah, but I mean,
maybe it
usually that
split
doesn't matter.
between the rest of the album somehow.
Usually that doesn't matter. Like I've
No.
released these other
Yeah.
compilations and it's never mattered before. You would think that it would
True.
get about 4,000 in the first week or
Hmm.
whatever, or the first day. But yeah, half of what it would normally get. I'm not really sure what's up with that, but even now, I mean, like, it's still getting release radar. Like the fact that we're a week into this and it's still getting 1,200 streams is kind of, that's kind of crazy, actually. Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
actually, that like normally it would be like 4,000, and then it would drop to like
Dramatically.
13,000, and then it would like go, it would stay like around that, and then it would drop down to like that 300 or something like that.
But geez,
But
that Sunday went up from the Saturday. That's
yeah,
usually not even a thing.
or Monday,
Yeah.
maybe it was Discover.
Crazy.
No Discover Weekly or anything.
No.
Release
If you
radar
go to
out of
your
these is 38 or 6,800.
Mhm.
Radio still is, radio got some stuff on this too. So I don't
If you
know.
go to your just like music tab and you go to your playlist overall, and
Yeah.
if you go to the last 7 days for the playlist,
Let me see. Hold on. Uh-huh.
so that
Yeah.
I'm finding interesting right now. Looking at Release Radar, you have over 10 songs that were on Release Radar
Oh. Oh,
in the
really?
last week. Yeah, because it maxes out at 10,
Oh, right.
so it'll
Yeah.
only show you 10.
So the reason
So
the reason that like some of these are showing up on release radar is because some of the producers are pitching some of
mhm,
these.
yeah,
So even if they're not even pitching something, they're still getting some release radar. So that I think that's probably a reason why we're getting a lot of release radar stuff. But even here, like 6,800 streams, like C Farafanat is the producer for Bloodhawk, and
uh,
they have a pretty decent audience. So it makes sense for them to bring in some release radar like that. But that's really cool. I didn't even think about it. If we look at the last 20 days and look at those 10 songs, look at those
oh yeah,
numbers. You know, I mean that's pretty nice. But
yeah,
anyway,
that's crazy.
okay, so that's cool. We're gonna get back into the release radar thing because I think what we might have something going on with that. So we're gonna get into that in a second. So Tarnish Funk was another one that did well, but this was not pitched or anything like that. But I just think it's one of those songs that I feel like it just does good in general. Like people just like the song, and right
Yeah,
now it's getting about 200 streams a day or something like that. So, I mean, right now it's sitting on like 200 something playlists. That's half of what He Who Must Not Be Named is, or he Who Must Not
yeah,
Be Killed is sitting on. So it has some strength there. NPC, same thing. NPC, wow, look at the playlist ads on NPC.
that's pretty good.
423 playlist ads is pretty good, and it's getting around 200 streams a day as well, which is just a little bit above what
That was really funny. It just gave you the wrong album art for that song.
did it? Oh no, it's because it originally came on that compilation,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
it
yeah.
changes it.
It
Yeah,
was on that
exactly.
album. Yeah, I forgot about that.
It confuses it. The
Confused
sky. We
me.
already looked at the sky. Let's look at now. There's some of these that I mean. Obviously, we're looking at the ones that were doing really well. Let's look at some of the ones that were like kind of struggling, right? So
Like that song.
Like Luigi's Mansion, for example. You know, when the album came out, you can see it right here. Well, the album came out
The
on the
31st.
31st,
Yeah,
right?
so
So
it sprung up.
it sprung up to it was getting 33 streams. It sprung up to 115, and now look, it's found its way back up. It's just going up. Like what's going on there? I don't know. You know, 110 playlist ads. That's cool with me. Hasn't hit 1,000 views yet. Hasn't hit 1,000 streams, but it's getting there. Um, did we go into
Go to
problem?
Temper.
Okay, wait, hold up one second.
Yeah.
Looks like problem. It's getting about 200, something like that.
Mhm.
So okay, that's cool. That was
Yeah.
like whatever. So which one? Which one? Temper?
Temper, yeah. Because that one's, I think, the
Uh,
lowest one on the album right now.
yeah, here we go. Temper. So like Temper, when it
Oh,
came
wow.
out, it was getting like very little, very little. Obviously, when the album comes out, it gets boosted back up, about 100 streams. It fell back down, and then it's finding its way back up again. I wonder what it is about Monday.
So is it just the whole album is looking like that right now?
It looks like it. It looks like every Monday that
Like
these
if you click on that whole, does the whole album have a graph? Let's see.
like if you see right here Saturday, Sunday, but then Monday comes back. Oh well, I guess because it's Sunday. Maybe that's what it is. We're
Yeah.
just seeing that dip, and it's making us kind of side
Oh
eye
yeah,
that a
but
little bit.
the whole album does kind of
Yeah,
have that little trend.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's just a Sunday. I was
Well,
like, what is this? Is this some kind of boost? But no, it's
no,
just
not
because
the
it kind
whole
of
album
dumped.
has an upward trend to the end of this week. Hmm.
Oh, which one?
Just
Which
certain
one are you
songs.
seeing? Which one?
Well, no, if you just click into the level one album and you're just looking at like the last 28 days for it,
Oh, okay.
that graph there, it
Oh yeah,
doesn't
I
look
see.
exactly like all of them. It
Well,
does
I
go down a little bit at the end,
yeah.
but
Is
it
this
does get pretty high.
Well, obviously, this is showing it's showing an
Mhm.
upward trend because this is when the
Yeah.
compilations are coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Now, which
So
one was that?
compilation. So it's
17.
compilation,
Yeah.
compilation, compilation. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those
Well, which
spikes
one
are
came out on the 17th?
that would be that's the he who must not be killed one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's why that was such a higher boost or whatever. But
Hmm.
I mean, even then, I mean that's cool or whatever. Before we move
Yeah.
on, let's just look at these little ones before. We looked at Temper subtitles on. I mean, this is like a different kind of genre. It's like emo, singer songwriter kind of song. 120 streams, 118 streams, 107 streams yesterday. Hasn't hit 1,000. It's on its way. But the fact that okay, listen, with the fact that something like this has 100 playlist ads
Pretty good.
is kind of crazy to me, because if I look at
I mean,
let's
here,
look
I'll
let's
go pull up a song on my profile real quick
right,
and tell you.
okay, like let's just look at like a random song. Okay, like Peanut Butter and Space Jam. This came out, right? Let's look at last 12 months. In its entirety, this song came out in November 18th. It got 330 playlist ads.
For another example, if I go and look at a song that was released with both you and I on it,
Uh-huh.
and our friend Eddie Lato,
Uh-huh.
absolutely, it has 445 playlist ads right
And
now
that
over
was
the last
released.
12 months.
Oh,
It was
wow, see.
released November 15th. And
I
I
mean,
know
not
that I pitched that and you pitched that.
it's not a huge amount of playlist ads, obviously, but the
No,
fact
but
that
yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm happy with it. But
the,
like,
yeah,
comparing it to something that just came out this, just a couple weeks ago, as you're
right.
releasing daily, it's
Mm-hmm.
fascinating.
Yeah, it's like who's adding these? I mean, obviously people who want to listen to them on their playlist, right?
Hmm.
But my whole thing has been like, where are people finding this stuff? So Ian put me onto this other thing. Is that, or was it you, Ian, that brought me onto this? But like, you have a tab on your phone, like your mobile device, when you're on
Oh yeah.
Spotify, and at the corner, the top left corner, and you probably already know. You may not even already know about this. At the top left corner, click on that. You click what's new, and it'll show you whatever's new, whether it was released today or yesterday or whatever the case may be. It does not wait till Friday to show you what is new. So that I wasn't aware of, and apparently somebody on my Discord also showed me um what YouTube Music also looks like. It's the same thing. It also shows you like whatever new came out, and it was showing like all my releases for that day and like the day before or whatever, and it was just like filling up their feed. So that may
Yeah, you do
be
take up a lot of space on mine.
exactly. So that may be a big part, because I mean, like, listen, not everybody's releasing music on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, right? It's
Hmm.
definitely not on Saturdays and Sundays. So
Yeah.
the fact that something's coming out, and if you're gonna go check out that what's play or what's new section, you see that, I mean, it does say a lot. So overall, we're looking at these. They're doing everything's doing about 100 streams a day. If we look, I can't. Can we do? Okay, we need to do the last 24 hours
Hmm.
on this. If we look at the last 24 hours, if you see all these 370, 170, 180, 215, this guy's still getting a whole bunch. 100, 500, 100, 100, 100, almost 100, 100, 100. Like if we look, okay, now we're getting into the ones that are getting a little bit less right here, right?
Hmm.
But even then, I mean, like getting 66 streams or something on something like
Yeah.
not every song that I have, like gets that. I
If I'm
guarantee
a
that.
31 track album, I know that track 24 is not going to get 58 streams for me. I just
Right, right. But I mean, like it also just goes to show you that I mean, and not every song is going to be a hit, right?
yeah.
And we don't know what's going to happen with the song. This song may find some kind of like life on radio or something like that, and
Yeah,
and
it's
find its way.
also, that's also an objective term.
Right.
So there's plenty of songs that you have that I've told you are my favorite songs of yours,
Mm-hmm.
like Fast and Depressed. I
Yeah.
love that song. That
Right.
song is one of your lowest performing songs
Yeah.
that you have, but it's so fucking good.
Dude, somebody asked me on my Discord yesterday,
Hmm.
Can you make a sequel to Yandere?
Oh my god, that one's old.
Yeah, it is old.
Wait, you didn't
It's on the B
that was
sides.
that on the Zemo and
Yeah,
Zemos, whatever the hell?
yeah, the Z sides or Zimmos or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my
crazy.
god.
So
Man.
let's get into what we got going on this week. Now we had some controversy this week, but this controversy actually turned out to be a positive. So we're gonna get into
Great.
that. I mean, we're gonna get into the release radar stuff. So, How to Catch a Shiny was on. This is the first one that I released on that first Saturday after the album dropped, and right now it's sitting at, well, the last we checked, it was sitting at 198 streams when it was updated or whatever. Right now, it's sitting at 229 streams or whatever. It looks like it got a boost on
Yeah.
Tuesday. It got 89 streams in one day, and then yesterday it got 16. I don't know what that's all about. I mean, I'm guessing somebody just had it on repeat. Somebody really likes the song, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like somebody from Germany just played the song a bunch of times.
Okay, so yeah, we'll just it is here neither here nor there. Now, moving on to the next one, Glover and Stitch, Glover X Stitch or whatever, is sitting at 189 streams right now. Now, I do want to keep in mind that now these songs are live, so these songs are starting to bring in streams. It's been about an hour since this whole compilation went live, so all of these songs are going to start getting boosted because the new compilation just came out. So keep that in mind. So like, even it says 47 streams from yesterday's perspective, and it has 189 right now. Which, if we're looking at from yesterday's numbers, it got 27. We're already way past that. So, it's getting boosted from the compilation. So, none of these are like really like blowing my mind as far as like, oh, like this is just doing so well, right? Lose Control is obviously doing better than both of those. It's the more recent one from those two that we just checked out, and it already has more streams than both of them. So, it is what it is. Some songs just going to hit more than others. Now this is
And
where
then
this is where this is where it gets really interesting. So I actually checked, Ian. I actually did contact Amuse to actually change
okay.
this date,
Yeah,
and they did
okay.
not.
So
They
that
didn't.
was the one that we spotted.
Yeah, so they did not. They did not get back to me, and like literally the day of, I kid you not, they sent me an email and they're like, "Hey, can you give us the release ID for this or whatever? We want to get this taken care of." Where I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
"Oh my god, I totally forgot about it," and I'm just like, it was just kind of shocked me. So what had happened, guys, is I accidentally double dropped. So a song from March that was originally supposed to go in March's
March
lineup
4th.
actually came out on the 4th of February instead of the 4th of March. And this was at the same time that my Banjo Kazooie song came out. Now, what's interesting about this is that this song, Too Fast, right? It was showing live stats and everything. If we look at this, look at what this got first day: 79 streams, then 111 streams. Remember, keep in mind, this is a new drop. This is a double drop. Sorry, this is a double drop. This is not on the compilation right now. Okay, so this is separate
Oh
from the
yeah.
compilation. Yesterday, it got 191 streams. That's the last time it updated or whatever. This already has 280 streams. This is already on its track to being more than probably this 111 streams that it has right now from yesterday. So this is gaining momentum, and this isn't even a part of the compilation or anything, and it was a double drop. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, how did Banjo-Kazooie come out? Because Banjo-Kazooie also came out the same day. Well, that's what's
This looked
really
like
interesting.
glass.
67 streams still it got, while Sonic was also getting 70 streams. Now, it did not find the same life that Too Fast did, but still 44 streams from yesterday. Total right now is sitting at 158 streams. I mean, I thought this was like the end of the world when this happened, you know? And I was like, oh no, like I just threw away this Sonic the Hedgehog song or this Banjo Kazooie song. Either one, I was like, oh no, like I screwed up one of them. But no, releasing 2 in one day did not affect either of them, and it still worked. Still worked out. It was crazy. I was like, and I told Ian, jokingly, I said, of course I would find some way subconsciously to, be doing a song every single day and then find a way to accidentally do 2 in one day. Like, do
There was a
more.
part of me when that was successful for you
Like, please do not.
that that went, oh God, why did it have to work?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why couldn't that have gone terribly? He's gonna take away the wrong lesson from this.
Right? I mean,
We're gonna have to
honestly,
deal with 700 goddamn songs.
listen. Listen, I'm not going to lie, bro. There was a part of me where I was like, well, I mean, like, I guess
Like,
if somebody
what's
wants to
that?
drop a main artist collab, it doesn't really matter. It's
God.
gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it detracts too much from what you're doing. I don't think that at the same time, I think that opening that up can just create a lot more work for
Well,
you, and you
yeah,
can potentially
obviously,
start selling things. And
yeah. I
yeah,
don't want to do that. But what I'm saying is like, if let's say like, oh, like I can't do a feature, I can't do a collab because it's gonna mess up my thing. That is out the window. If I
yeah,
already have a feature that I'm doing for somebody and they want to make it a main or whatever, I don't
yeah.
think it would be too much of a problem for them to claim it as a main. Now, are they going to
If
get a
the
huge
song
push? Are
turns
they
out
going
to
to
be
get
a pop,
Yeah, are they
yeah.
not going to get a release radar? Yeah, probably not
No,
going to get a release radar or anything, but
I'm certainly not pitching it.
it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Anyway, so moving on to One Wing. One Wing was pretty recent. It was on the 5th. Um right now, or last time we checked, it had 52 streams, already has 111 streams. Obviously, this is probably getting boosted up by the compilation as well. Twisted Metal was from yesterday. We don't have any
Yeah.
like
Seriously.
actual streams from verified from yesterday, obviously. But right now it's sitting at 57 streams. It's also going to get boosted by the compilation. Now this is where it gets interesting. Okay, before I click this, I have not clicked on this. My theory was that if we did not pitch last week and we instead pitched tiptoe for this week, because it would have been more than 7 days before the pitch, maybe we would actually get the song that we pitched to go on release radar. You ready, Ian? Let's see if
I
our
am
theory is
so
because
curious. I
because
have not checked
nothing
myself.
because nothing is getting release radar right now. So this is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, we
scary.
have clicked through each one. It doesn't seem that it's
Not
been, so it must.
It must be. Let's see. You ready? I'm scared.
I'm a little nervous.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yay!
Oh my gosh.
It
Okay.
worked.
Okay. Okay.
Now,
Okay. So, moving
question
forward.
is,
Moving forward. This means that every
Mhm.
other release radar we can get, or every other song, right?
Now, yeah, is it that the question becomes, or as Spotify claims, is it just it's been broken the past few weeks
No, I
and
don't think
now it's
so.
working? I
That
don't
would be
think it's that. I think it.
quite the
I,
coincidence.
I think it is interesting though because I have argued with so many people before,
Yeah.
telling them that a 2 week pitch does not matter and
Yeah.
that you will get release radar without a 2 week
Well,
pitch.
and that does
Now,
make sense because
yeah,
they're not releasing every single day. But if you're releasing every single day,
mhm,
I think that like that is the problem. That is the
yes,
issue. So, um so we need to keep this in mind because
fascinating.
Ian helps me with my pitches and everything. He usually does my pitches. So I'll be like, hey, go pitch a song or whatever. He'll write up the pitch and everything like that
A
for me.
beautiful pitch, of course.
He's probably using AI or something. Let's be honest, guys. I don't know if he's gonna be able to figure it out.
Believe me, it's too dumb for AI to write my pitches.
but
They're
but
not
yeah,
sophisticated.
so we're really locked in on this part of the game because like for those who don't know, we actually we're hoping to pitch a lot of these for release right, or we just didn't know what was going on. I contacted Spotify for artists. I contacted, like, I was talking to even like the upper management or whatever, and they still didn't have an answer for me. They're just like, yeah, you know, your song's on release radar. It's like, dude, yeah, a song's on release radar, but it's not the one that I want to be on release radar. So the idea was we're not getting our Friday drops on release radar. That was the problem. So now it looks like what we have to do is take before, like, it's kind of hard to do this, but because I'm releasing every single day, but like it needs more than 7 days to pitch this. So,
Now, the question becomes,
mm-hmm.
as I get ready to pitch something from the I'm not going to say the name of the compilation, but the
Right,
compilation that's releasing on the 21st.
right.
Um,
Well,
I'm
no,
going to
we have,
pitch
yeah, it'll be on the
something
21st. Yeah,
from it. Yeah, I'm going to pitch something from that compilation. Do I pitch the one that's releasing that day?
yeah.
Or do you think that it's open enough to where I could potentially pitch like another song that came out that week that we also like, you know?
I don't think so. I think that we have to stick in that
Mhm.
week because the thing is that like it's on a compilation. It's already been released.
Yes. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
like
saying?
let's say the song that releases on the 20th or something. If I was to pitch that on the compilation that's existing on the
I mean, it
21st,
would even that would be the one that should release on the release radar. Or if you did
yeah.
18th, if you did the
Yeah.
18th, that should be the one that ends up on release radar, right?
You would think so.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that that is the way that it would work.
And that might be
Now,
like what we end
obviously,
up
we've
doing.
set these up to like where we're gonna pitch the Friday ones.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just continue forward and pitch that song that's coming out that day.
Yeah.
Um, but
Mm.
yeah, like in March though, March I think you have it much more open to interpretation, right? Because
For
you're setting
sure.
it up
For
differently in
sure.
there.
Yeah.
So with that month, we can potentially experiment around a little more with the pitches.
Yeah. No, and I think we probably should. Well, we should probably experiment this month so we have it kind of figured out. You know,
You got a
so like,
point?
I'll look and see. I'm not even sure what the 21st is. I'm not
Uh,
sure what that
yeah.
drop
Well,
is.
obviously you
Let's.
can't click on it right now
No,
unless you want to show people.
I'll show. I'll show.
But
It's not that
okay,
big of a
it's the
deal.
cooler song. Uh,
It. Oh, is it the cooler song? Okay.
yeah.
So like, if it's the cooler song, then um,
The day
hmm,
before it is one of my favorites though.
what is
So
the one? What is the one before it?
zero
Oh,
two.
02, yeah. Which
I
I
know
was
you don't
like,
want to pitch that one.
which I was okay with that being the one. You know, oh man, Rising Sun is on Sunday
Rising Sun
too.
would be a
Oh
good
man.
one. Rising Sun was a good
Uh,
song. I like that one a lot. And Wing
yeah,
Gundam Zero is also
and
pretty
straight out of
straight out
Steamboats.
Steamboat. It's pretty cool.
Man,
Really,
it's gonna be a really good week.
that
Yeah.
whole week is pretty sick. Uh,
But like if
yeah.
okay, if we pitch like straight out of Steamboats,
Hmm.
like that would be like one of those cases where it's like, okay, if that did get the release radar, dude, we are like super set.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Then we know
saying?
exactly what's going on.
We know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
So,
So do you think that's the move tomorrow?
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I think
Write
so.
a
Do you think
note.
that should be the one, or should like it should be a Rising Sun? I don't know. I mean, like
Uh,
Rising Sun's a little bit.
I remember Rising Sun more than I remember Straight Outta Steamboat.
Yeah, but Rising. What the thing with Rising Sun is that it's a slower song, so that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna hit them as well.
Hmm.
Because guys, I have
Yeah,
to keep
Straight
in
Outta
mind that
Steamboats might be
I
might
have
be
to
cooler.
I have to think about like what my audience on Spotify is looking for, right? Like
Yeah.
honestly, Tiptoe is probably not the greatest to pitch to them. To be honest with you, I like the song and I think it has potential. But like it's a lot heavier, so I don't
It's
know. We'll see.
insane.
We'll see what happens with that song, But
I was
overall,
just listening to it again before we got onto this.
right? Um, but overall, I don't know. What do you think, Ian? What is your analysis after seeing everything that we've kind of like looked at here?
I mean, it's fascinating. We're learning more than we ever have
Yeah.
about how Spotify works under these conditions,
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I feel like by this time next month, we're going to know a lot more. Things are going to be a lot different. Oh yeah, discovery mode is going to be much more a thing as the future goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that we weren't able to put in too many songs in there this time around,
Oh yeah.
uh, because not too many were eligible yet.
That's true.
Uh,
Yeah, that's true. But
but
yeah, we have to look at that.
this
Yeah.
month there'll be a lot more that'll be eligible whenever
Yeah.
it opens up. It
It
says on
opens
the
up on
11th.
on the 11th, so yeah,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get because people were asking me about that about discovery mode, like if I'm using discovery mode for this whole project and everything like that. So I wanted to kind of like touch on that a little bit, but
Yeah, it'll
yeah,
be interesting to see what discovery mode does for you. I have my own like personal theories about how discovery mode works and who it benefits best and stuff.
mm-hmm,
Um, and like if you do well with discovery mode, obviously that's gonna potentially blow some of my theories out of the water, depending on like what works for you and what doesn't.
right, yeah,
I
um,
think discovery mode's benefited by artists who release one type of music. Like if you're a band that
right,
releases metal music, discovery mode can probably help you because it's gonna reach out to those type of people that listen to metal music. But for me, discovery mode didn't really help me at all because I was
right,
having songs like Stranded, which is a dark trap lullaby, next to
mm-hmm,
Go Stupid, which is like a train broke down and we're screaming next to it.
uh huh,
So yeah, it just didn't know what the fuck to do with me. And so I don't think for artists like me, for artists like Oni Inc., who I know doesn't do discovery mode,
mm-hmm,
I don't think it's smart for us. But I think for this 365, there's no reason not to do discovery mode, especially because like it's all kind of an experiment. So like
mm-hmm,
why not factor the beta of
yeah,
discovery mode into this experiment?
yeah. I,
Yeah.
I don't know if your camera's been out this entire time. It's like it
Is it?
needs to be. It needs to like this Discord needs to be up. I guess. No, no, no. It's not yours.
Uh,
It's on my end. But I mean, either way, whatever. Nobody needs to see your bald ass
eh.
anyway.
I think I'm actually looking at myself. I'm so fucking pale right now in my chest and everything because I've
Yeah.
only and like on my underarm too because
Uh
I've
huh.
only worn long sleeve shirts that have covered everything except for my head and my
Yeah.
hands for the past year.
Hey, well, hey, it is what it is. Hey, so one thing I want to touch on before we get into the last, the mindset stuff and just wrap this up. So before I started this project, I do want to point out that like I was down. I
Scroll
was I
down
was
real
I
quick.
was down.
There's
Um,
the change percentage right there.
exactly. And right now we're sitting at a couple weeks ago I think it was like 4%. So we're going up. Like the listeners are going up 5% of the listeners. If we look at streams are up by 17%. The stream to listener is up by 11%. The saves are up by 147% right now, which is kind of crazy. I'm guessing that's when the album came out. Yeah, look at that. That's when the album came out. Look at all
Holy
those saves.
crap!
You know why?
Oh my god!
I think a big reason I think a big reason is because of the pre-saves. So we had the yeah.
Oh
So it's pre-saving all the
yeah.
songs. So I had about 500,
Oh
but I had about 500 pre-saves on that.
yeah. Let me go look at the
So
pre-save campaign real quick.
500 times 30, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
there's 500 pre-saves, and there's 30,000 saves on the album
Oh, okay.
itself
Yeah. But I
so
mean
far.
that's over the course of the
But that's
entire
the whole album. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
But like
So that
playlist ads up 24%, followers up 3%. And this is all from the last month. So it's comparing from last month to where we are to currently is up 3%. So I'm 3% higher than I would have normally been in the last month on all these things, like 5%, whatever. So everything is comparable to that. Like if I look at just like the last 12 months in like since I started in January, you can see right here. You see this, Ian?
Yeah.
You can see clearly. I mean, obviously, this is the last year. This is what I was
Mm-hmm.
doing last year around this time, and now we've gotten back up there. Obviously, it's just been going down, 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 down. All of a sudden, jumping up a lot. So
Yeah.
even though, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of songs. Yeah, it's a lot of, you know, you know,
Huh. Pull up
what
your
what
followers for last 12 months.
followers for last 12 months? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
You got a
Yeah. Wow.
little whoop
Yeah, that's
right when you
probably
started doing your dailies.
yeah, yeah, that is true. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah. It's like I think literally what that first Monday
Hmm.
after. Huh.
Yeah, but
That's
it's true.
fascinating.
It's just like it's been on the same trajectory like
And then it
all
just
year,
kind
just like
of
normal,
went up a little higher and faster.
a little bit higher and faster. Yeah. Well, I think that also
Higher,
might
further,
be.
faster.
Well,
Hmm.
I also think this also might be He Who Must Not Be Killed time. So this is like TikTok. So we
Yeah,
have
it
to.
could be.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. But
That could be, yeah.
even then, I mean, like, dude,
It's still
this is
interesting
great.
and
Yeah, this is
yeah.
awesome. Release engagement. I don't even know. Let's see. I don't even looked at
I've
this.
Yeah, I don't
You look
really
at
pay
this?
attention to release
I
engagement
haven't
ever.
either.
It's weird. It's hard to
Yeah.
ever decipher.
Huh. Okay. Well, anyway, um, just to wrap this up. So, mindset wise, how am I feeling? I'm feeling good. We're going into now. I'm going to be working on April's songs pretty soon. I'm finishing up the last like 3 videos I have to do for March's YouTube. Um, you know, uh, videos or whatever, which we didn't touch on YouTube today. I think I'm just gonna wait till next week to touch on YouTube because it's kind of the same. Nothing really like super big has happened on there, so it's not really much to talk about. But that last bit of like videos that I had to get done for March, which I've been working on them like constantly for the past like couple of days. I haven't been working on any music because I've been just getting these videos done. I just work on them on my iPad. The last bit of them has been kind of hard to get through, to be honest with you. I feel like I was like starting to really feel it. I was like, oh, I got to do another one. I got to do another one. I got to do another one when it was like exciting and fun in the beginning.
Hmm.
But I have noticed that because I've been doing these videos and everything, at first, like I was just kind of like just getting them done and everything. But like over the course of like repeatedly doing them, they're actually looking better. Like I was like looking at some of them, and I was like, man, these look a lot better than the ones that I was doing in January and February. And just by default, like I'm not even having to put that much more effort into it. I just figure out some new things that I can do in CapCut and different editing tricks that I can put in there, and so it really helped. But as far as like how I'm moving into April, I don't think I've told you about this, Ian. I already have a list of all the songs that I'm going to be doing in April. I figured that out first. That's how I approached it. I just said, brought up my list. I scheduled them out because now I'll be doing themed days. So it's just like, okay, what am I going to make on these days or whatever? And I can make changes,
Yeah.
if I want to. Like, for example, I originally had a One Piece song that I was going to do on one of these Fridays. Um, and it actually ended up being changed to a Devil May Cry song because the Devil May Cry anime is coming out.
Ooh,
So on that same day, so I was just like, "Hey, let's go,"
that's cool.
So I switched that up. But yeah, I mean, overall, like, I mean, I feel good. I had a weird day yesterday where I was like kind of feeling down, and I was realizing how kind of like I don't know, like I wouldn't say like antisocial, but just like how I've been so busy with everything, and it's kind of like kept me away from like friends and like just like normal things. And it's something that I even had a moment where I was like, maybe it's like I'm not really, this is not the time for me to have free time. Like if I'm gonna be doing this, like
Yeah.
Maybe I kind of have to sacrifice that free time and
Yeah.
stuff.
We aren't far enough ahead for you to have free time right now.
Right.
Sorry, you're gonna have to get back to work.
All right. Right now I'm about 90 songs scheduled. So when I get April done, I'll be about 120 scheduled, which I'm gonna get start working on that probably tomorrow. So you know,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens, but for right now, I feel good. So
Mm.
no
Now, I
issues.
have one question for you real quick
Sure,
though.
sure.
Um, Now, as you were putting on your headphones earlier, a
Mm-hmm.
thought crossed my mind.
Okay.
We were talking a lot about growth, and I just, this relates to it. As you grow and stretch your ears out, do you think
Mm-hmm.
headphones will become harder for you to use and fit into?
Well, like, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be like stretching too much more, right?
Ah,
I'm at an inch right now, but like,
mhm.
what a lot of people do is like, let's say if I had like 2 inches or like, yeah, 2 inches, then what a lot of people do is they take their lobe and they wrap it around their ear.
God damn
Yeah, I mean, it's a real thing. Now, it does
it. Yeah.
bother me sometimes, though. I will say because like it's like sitting right here, and so I have to like move it down, or I need to like give it a little bit of more room because it'll just be like pressing it into me. But like that's usually not like with these ones. These ones are softer, so it's not that big of a deal. But like when I wear like the harder ones, like those like will just like pierce into my head, and I'm like, oh, it hurts. But no, it's fine for right now. I don't think I'm going to be going up much more. That was off topic.
You
It was
know, it
random.
was
I was
on
not expect.
topic.
I thought you were gonna say because you're trying to grow, and I saw you put your headphones on. Maybe you should try streaming. And I'm like, dude, no, I got
No,
no time for this.
no, no, no.
But
I
anyway,
shouldn't.
let's go ahead and wrap it up. So, Ian, thank you for joining me. What do you think about this, Ian? Did you enjoy this time with me going
Yeah,
over
yeah.
this?
Yeah,
I
it's interesting. It's just like one of our conversations that we have, except it's recorded.
Exactly. And I this is the thing. I want to put this stuff out there. I want like, we can go like it'll be like December at the end of the year or whatever, and we can go back to this episode and
Yeah.
we're talking about what was going on in February, and it's kind of like
Also,
cool to be able to see.
I think it's good that you're kind of demystifying this process for other artists and just people watching that are interested in it. You know,
Mhm.
they're able to kind of see what it really is, what it
What it really
entails,
looks like.
what's going on. Yeah,
We
the
should
good,
do
bad, the ugly, all that stuff. It's all here.
Dude, honestly, we should do more stuff like this, like where we're kind of like you said, like demystifying a lot of like
Yeah.
misconceptions about like stuff. Like for example, like a lot of people like have misconceptions about streams and like versus money, and
Mm-hmm.
like what it even means to be like a full-time musician, and like what
Yeah.
what I'm saying, like wouldn't that be an interesting podcast kind of episode to do on, and we like actually dive in and show things, show the numbers, and that'd be
Mm-hmm.
it should be really interesting to see.
Yeah,
um
I mean, I'm definitely always one that like when an artist approaches me and stuff, I will always be as open as possible with any of my stats and my numbers as I possibly can be. You know,
mhm.
I'll let people know how many streams I make, and then I'll let them know, or how many streams I get a month, and then I'll let them know how little money I make from it.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. It's not that
it's
great.
ultimately not anything
It's not that great,
to
trust
like
me.
really look at.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, that would be interesting. That would definitely be an interesting
that would be
episode.
really interesting. Because I mean, I'm doing my Zilla mode episodes or whatever, like my Zilla cast episodes or whatever. But like, we just basically just did a podcast just now.
Yeah,
So, and it was very easy, to do
yeah,
with you. So, yeah, we'll have to do this again. Let's do this again, on next Friday, and we'll see where we're at then. And it'll probably be a shorter episode because we'll have less to really look at. I mean, we can like
exactly.
go over like a little bit of what's going on in the first month, see if there's anything to really talk about. But we're in the second month now. We're
Yeah,
moving on.
yeah. We've moved past that.
We moved past that.
That's
Yeah,
already happened. Level one. We're past level one. We're on level two.
we're on level 2. We'll see
Yeah,
how this does, and then what is happening next week, and see how that is performing and what we can see is going to be coming out of that. So, but anyway, thank you for joining us on this episode of Zilla Mode, and until next time, Zilla out.